Hello everybody. Today will be how to do a flight in a Boeing 737 MAX. I'm sure this is what everybody's been waiting for. At least I hope so. I want to get right into this. This is only free flight mode though. I don't want it to be too long. And we're only flying from Knoxville, Tennessee to Nashville, Tennessee. I used to live there. It was great. Alrighty, so it's already made a flight plan on its own. Not worrying about anything except the approach procedure. We'll make it an ILS. This one will give us more time. So we'll take this one, make it a VFR flight. I'm going to start the stopwatch. Make sure it's a VFR flight. I'm going to come back here. Two things I like to do. I'm going to look at the runway type. Runway to right. Go to the arrival airport information. Runways to right. So to right will work. Everything else we need to know we'll look up while we're in the aircraft. It's going to be a very short flight. I'm going to make this about 20,000 feet. I won't send to ATC and avionics until on the ground. Okay, we'll see you there. Okay, here we are in a 737 MAX. Pretty cool looking, huh? Let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's get the animations going. Okay, here we are on the aircraft. Just adjusting my camera a little bit. On PC, you could do that with Shift QEWASD. Alright, let's show you how to do this. Now you could call for ground power, but I want to show you how to do this just in case ground power is not available. We can show you outside. There is the ground power truck right there, right here. But we're not going to use it today. Instead, Shift 7. First I'm going to do, turn on the batteries. Then I'm going to flip the APU master on. Then pull it to start. Let go. Now it's going to take a very long time to run up, and you'll know it's fully run up when the APU gen bus lights up. Then you'll know it's on all the way. Another thing we can do while we're here, now remember to go left to right or right to left. That means like left to right like this, or right to left like this, to get all your switches and make sure you don't miss anything. Anyway, we're going to flip on these switches here. Like to turn the yaw damper on and make sure you come up here and flip these to nav. As you see, it's still not lit up, so we can go ahead and take a look at our flight plan. Oh, we can set up our FMS. We need to go to arrival airport information, charts, approach. We know it's to right, ILS to right. We just need to know the frequency. And we know we need to be at 2,500 feet to capture the glide slope for the ILS. 111.75, that's the first thing we're going to do. Press Shift 6. We'll just type in 111.75. Then we'll click over here to bring it to the top. We'll do that for both radios. Oh, we can't do it until the thing's turned fully on. Let's see if it is turned fully on. It is. The light is on. You can see that here. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on APU generators 1 and 2 and put the APU bleed air to on, and you hear the APU running up. Should be hearing it run up right now. Now another way, a cheat to make sure the APU is on, is to look out the back and you can see the APU exhaust is going on. His APU is fully activated. Now we'll turn everything else on. What we're going to do is we'll start here on the right. I'm sorry, we can't do any of this yet. We won't do anything yet until after we turn on the engines. But before we do that, we're going to set up the FMC. Let's go back down to where we were. 111.75. Put in this one too. I'm going to turn on the brightness on the panels. That's down here. We'll take these out of the way. We're going to go to the FMC. Before we do this, we're going to come back here. We're going to send to ATC and avionics the generic flight plan that the game made up for us. Let's look it over. Okay, here's a route discontinuity. What we need to do is take the waypoint after that, click it, and then click here. And you want to make sure you just look over the flight plan. It's only the ILS waypoints that are on our flight plan anyway. And before I click execute, which you could, I'm going to go to init ref. We need 0 flight weight. You can look at the flight plan yourself. Go to payload and fuel. 0 fuel weight, 131.7. 131.7 for a 0 fuel weight. Reserve fuel to be completely honest, I'm not really sure how to put in reserves. It says alternate fuel 0 pounds, even though it says contingency fuel 111 pounds. Final reserve 227 pounds. We cannot put that cost in here. We cannot put that number in here. I just go 0. Okay, cost index. Put different numbers in here. I go with 30. And this just let you know how the plane is going to perform. It cuts back on fuel, saves fuel, and all that. Anyway, I'm going to go with 30. Now I'm going to go to N1 limit over here. I'm going to put TO2. This just saves the airplane fuel. It's to save wear and tear on the aircraft. Is why you want to put in these things. Now here's your cost index again up here. You can leave this blank or you can put in a number. I like to put in 30. That's going to make it 90%. Means it should give me enough power to get off even off shorter runways. Now we want to go to takeoff. You want to tip flaps 5. So flaps here, type 5, put it in here. Now we have our V1 speeds. Now I like to click execute. You can bring these all up here so it shows up on takeoff on your speedometer. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and run up the engines now. What you want to do is you want to switch this to right. What we're going to do is we're going to request pushback first. Ground services, request pushback. Now what you want to put in is pushback, steers to left or right. I'm going to steer to the left. You can see why. Oh, I have to take off the brake. Now we'll go ahead and start up the engines. We're going to start with the right engine. So we switch this to right, switch this to ground. Then we're going to have a look over here. You can see it running up here. See the engine's running up. When it gets to about 20 is when I like to introduce fuel. I'm going to go ahead and introduce fuel. You can see that the engine's starting to run up. Put on my parking brake. You just want to wait for that to fully run up. Okay, we've reached full engine run up. So I come back up here. I'm going to switch this to the left engine. Switch this to ground. Then watch it run up. Once again, once it gets to 20, I'm going to introduce fuel. Introduce fuel. One thing we forgot to do when we put flaps 5, whenever you do that, you have to actually put in flaps 5. Just setting off takeoff flaps. We have both engines fully run up. Flaps have been engaged. Now, first thing we're going to do is switch this to the middle, turn off the APU, and turn on the engine generators 1 and 2. This should turn off by itself, but if not, you could click here. The APU master is off. Turn the APU bleed air off. Turn the engine air bleeds on. And your packs to auto. Now we're going from right to left. So we did these here. Now we're going to come over here, turn all these on. This is window heat. This is when engine anti-ice. We don't worry about that right now. We want to turn these two on. The other ones are already on. All the hydraulics. I'd like to come over here. Seat belts and smoking to auto. You can leave these as they are. Now we're going to go to the next line here. We're going to turn on cabin utility supply and passenger supply. Just basically giving them electricity. Once again, if you want it to go in a row, just make sure these two are on. These two are off. Again, make sure the APU is off. We've already turned these on. Then we've already turned on the yaw dampener. So that's all we have to do. I hope you were able to follow along with that. Another thing I like to do, I turn on landing lights, turn on taxi to auto, and anti-collision and wing light. That's all I like to use. You could use the strobe just until you reach the runway. Also for taxiing purposes, so everybody can see the aircraft. Oh, one thing I forgot. You want to turn on your emergency exit lights to armed. It's just one thing I forgot. I'll get better at this. Hey, now we're all ready to go. We're going to go ahead and taxi, but I'll just skip taxi and I'll see you on the runway. I hope I've made the FMC clear. We can go back to legs here. Oh, another thing you could do, come back to your flight plan here, and you can check your flight plan to see if it coordinates with what you have here. So example, SYI, then J-turn, then Atkins, then Loudon, and the next page, Unive, Skaggs, and then runway 2 right. So if you want to match it up, that's one way to do it. Okay, once again, I'll see you on the runway. No, before we do that, I want to show you how to set up autopilot. We're going to set this to 20,000 feet. 20,000 feet is set. We're going to click LNAV and VNAV. I'm unable to click LNAV. Oh, that's because we need to turn the flight directors on, both of them on the left and right, and turn auto throttle to arm. Now we should be able to turn on LNAV, and we were able to. Another thing you do is you want to take a look at your takeoff speeds. To see that, you want to come down here, go to init ref, index, takeoff, and it's going to be 152. Since that's 152, you want to put add 10. That's usually the rule. So instead of being 152, we're going to set up 162 for V2. So we're going to come back up here. I'm just going to set it to 162 for takeoff. Now our autopilot is set up. One thing I like to do here, and we'll do this in the air though. Okay, sorry to keep you waiting. We'll see you on the runway. Here we got our takeoff clearance. I'm going to use all of the runway. I'm using half throttle, by the way. Then I take it out for turns because it doesn't turn so good. And now we're going to go ahead and give it takeoff power. That means full throttle. I want to make sure our flaps are set. Takeoff flaps are set. You can see that down here. They are. Everything looks good in the green. As far as the engines, airspeed's alive. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. One thing I forgot to do, I'm going to turn on heading mode. It's one thing I forgot to do. And I want to line up the heading bug to intercept the GPS. I'm going to go ahead and enable autopilot. That's right over here to the right. Once we get above 190 knots, we can put flaps up. We'll put flaps 5 up already, and flaps 1 up already, and full flaps. Flaps are up. Now we'll begin climbing. Sometimes when you turn on heading bug, LNAV will go off. You have to turn it back on again. Make sure they're both enabled. Since we intercepted the GPS, it automatically switched from heading bug to navigation mode, the GPS mode. Now what I want to do is, I want to set up engine anti-ice. That's over here. Turn on engine anti-ice. I'm going to turn off my landing lights. Turn off taxi. Keep your anti-collision lights and wing lights on. Turn off your strobes. Now the autopilot's doing everything. We don't have to do anything. Okay, we'll see you once we've reached flight altitude. See, we're coming up nicely here. Speed's okay. We have auto throttle enabled. Everything's enabled. We're coming up on flight altitude. Now what we want to do is we want to set up for our top descent. What we can do is we can zoom out here using the range selector to zoom out to make sure we have a top descent. And indeed, we do have a top descent. We are here. The top descent is here. Again, we'll go to arrival airports information, charts, to right, ILS for to right. And we know we need to be at 2,500 feet to capture the ILS. So that's what I'm going to plug in. Go to our autopilot here and set this to 2,500 feet. VNAV is already enabled. That's all we have to do there. If we've done everything right, once we've reached top descent, the plane should start coming down all on its own. Okay, we'll see you at top descent. A trick you can do to see where you're at, turn this off. You don't even have to open up the flight book. You just do this to zoom in. But we're about to come up on top of descent here. I want to show you that here. You just want to keep an eye on this to make sure your plane starts coming down. If not, I can show you what to do to bring it down without the plane doing it itself. Now we've reached top of descent. And we're starting to come down. And we're starting to come down in speed. Another thing you want to do is go to init ref, index. This is only as a precaution. Usually you don't have to do it. We're going to go to approach. Make sure we have approach speeds enabled. They are. I don't like the look of the clouds on the right side. So I'm going to enable wing ice protection. Right here. Okay, we're coming up on our ILS transition. Another weird thing we can do, go here, go to the legs page. Now we know we need to be at J-turn, we need to be at 6,000 feet. So you just want to make sure that happens. You can see that here. We should be okay. Once again, I have wings ice on. I want to Put in flaps 15, watch out reach 153 knots. That's going to init ref, index, approach. So you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and click approach up here. You could also click localizer. I like to click approach. The glide slope is coming in. Slide post came in. We've captured the glide slope. Now I'm going to put in flaps. It's a good thing we turned on wing anti-ice. You can see what you need to put your flaps at right here. Flap 15, you need to be below 200 knots. You can see right here if it's green or if it's yellow means you're going too fast with those sets of flaps. Okay, one thing we can do here, take down the speed ourselves. I'm going to go to 190. The clouds don't look so bad anymore. Turn off wings anti-ice. We can also turn up the brightness here. Flaps 10. Flaps 15. Bring it down again to about 160. So we can put in full flaps. Or below 190. Put in flaps 25. Okay, we have in full flaps. You can see that here and here. I'm going to go ahead and put the gear down. See the runway out there? Barely. Well, at least I can barely. Eyesight's not great. Just want to make sure you're in real time before landing the aircraft. We are. Bring my speed back to 140. Set this to 135. Takeoff autopilot. Small inputs.
Nashville Tower, Boeing Kilo Charlie Echo 2510 is 1 mile southeast, 800 Sierra to land.
Boeing Kilo Charlie Echo 2510
Perfect landing.
Nashville Tower.
Take the throttle all the way out.
Enter left traffic runway 2 right.
It's a really nice landing. We're just going to stop beyond the line. Normally you'd contact ground, request taxi to parking, but we're not going to do that. We're going to enable the parking brake. And I'll show you how to shut down the aircraft. Now, the plane likes to move on me if I keep the engines on too long. I don't know, I think it's like the bug in the game. So what I like to do is cut fuel right away. Then shift 7, start turning everything off from right to left. Turning off engine bleed air, packs. Go down here. Turn off all our hydraulics, turning them off. Turn off engine anti-ice. Turn off window heat. Turn off seat belts and smoking sign. Switch these off. Turn off passenger supply. Now you want to wait in the battery. Turn these off instead, coming on to the next list. Oh, you want to turn off your generators 1 and 2 also. And you can see here that they're off. Just turn off our fuel pumps. Turn off your damper. You're supposed to do that when you're about to land. Turn the battery off. Oh, we forgot to set up landing lights and everything, but that's okay. I'll do better next time. All right, that's how you fly from one airport to another in the Boeing 737. You knew it was coming. Well, I didn't know if you knew it was coming. I'm sure you were hoping it was coming. Hopefully you were able to follow along. Hopefully you can do this yourself. And to all those who can do it yourself, what did I do wrong? Let me know in the comments. Also, a like and subscribe would be really nice. I'm a new channel, trying to grow. But hey, if not, it's all love. Take care. We'll see you in the next one.